Okay, well, that was a very simple episode.
Yes.
Very
I liked
straightforward.
it.
Yeah. We got everyone kind of on the way to being back together. Killua's still out there. Yes. Killua's bit was kind of the best part of this episode.
Oh, it totally was.
Because we always knew that he was really OP. He's just really good. But the fact that he knew not only how to beat them, he knew, like...
he was so fast.
He was so fast, yes, but he also knew that Hanzo was watching, potentially.
Right, yes.
And he did a little sleight of hand with the tags.
Yeah, that was so amazing.
Poor Hanzo.
Poor Hanzo.
Yeah.
Like, that was so great, but you just feel bad for the guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It just didn't end up going his way, because he's not that good of a fighter, apparently, to where he could have taken the two of them on at once, because they were always together. So he just waits for them to have a kind of a moment that he could take one of them.
Right.
And Killua provided the perfect opportunity. And he's really fast. He's really skilled. But he's better at the sneaking side of things. And then he didn't notice the fact that Killua switched them.
Yep.
So now he's going to be searching all this time for them. What if he ends up kind of doing a trade? Where he's like...
I could see that. Yeah. He finds the person who does need the 198, I think is the one that he got. And then he's like, hey, I need 197. You know.
And then they end up fighting each other so that, the one that doesn't have their tag, doesn't have it. It's a brother-on-brother fight. And then Hanzo just makes the deal with one of the brothers.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really excited to see who all ends up actually coming out of this okay.
I think because there's another phase, Leorio and Kurapika and all them kind of have to. It's the question of all these side characters, though.
Right, because...
will Hanzo make it out? Don't know.
I hope so. But there's Hisoka and Gitaraku. Mm-hmm. They both seem like they're going to make it through.
Yep.
There's the guy with the bow and arrow. He got his target right away, so there's no reason that he shouldn't make it out of this.
Yeah. There could be some upsets and some things that
there could be some upsets
in the week that they're doing this. But yeah, then there's also Hanzo, potentially. Will he make it out of there? Okay. Garetta's not going to make it out of there. Okay. Garetta's done.
Yeah. And then there's the gang.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of others, but I don't remember all.
Most of them have kind of already been dealt with.
Yeah, let's see. There's I think Pokle was the arrows person.
Right. Either that or he was the person with the monkey. But the person with the monkey and Tonpa are out for the count. Mm-hmm. 3 brothers are out.
It's quite a few.
Yeah.
It could get down to almost 10 characters. Maybe barely 10 characters. Another thing is that just because, half of the people are projected to go through with the, the way the tag system works.
Half the people at max.
Half the people at max is how it'll set up. Yeah. So we could have, maybe only 7 people go through, or 8, some really small
I could see
number.
8, because then that would be Hisoka, Gitaraku, the guy with the bow and arrow, the gang, and Hanzo.
Yes.
Yeah, I could see that happening.
8 is a pretty even number, too.
Right.
It could be more, but it doesn't have to be, is the point.
Yeah.
But other than that, the whole trap thing was like, it's a kind of a clever way to do it. It's not that she was the one making the trap, it's that he made the trap. But his little spell is now in effect, and he can't cancel it because he's dead. When usually these things happen, there's some kind of BS reason that, they died, their spells that they were casting are no longer in effect.
Right, but this is way more problematic. I love it.
Yeah, whereas in this case, it's perpetuating because it was cast. It's just going to go until they turn it off.
Yep.
Which I think is fun. So maybe she killed him thinking that it would turn it off when he
didn't.
And it didn't.
Yeah.
So now she's thinking they're screwed. But then this person could actually be someone that they work with in order to get out of there.
Right, but then there's still the question of Leorio needs her tag.
True.
And they don't have any extra to give her.
Here's one thing. Here's one way they could look at it. They get out there with a very minimal amount of time, and they ask her, wait, you join our team. Who do you need to get? And she needs to get this person, and then they help her.
Sure.
And then give her maybe extra tags to get that many points, or they save her life because she's like, I'm just resigned to die or not pass the exam because I can't get out. But by them saving her, essentially, and saving themselves, she kind of goes, okay, well, obviously I'm not going to pass this, but at least you should,
sure.
Leorio. Like,
Right.
maybe Leorio will do something heroic, and maybe he'll do it because she's a girl or something.
Yeah.
But
now, if
there's
they
ways
do
that they can do this. But if Leorio gets knocked out of the exam, that would be kind of cool.
But he could technically still pass even if he was unconscious.
Really?
All he would have to do is have both.
Well, no, I'm saying
necessary.
I'm saying, how is he going to get the tags at all?
Oh, Gon and Karapika could get them for him.
Oh, sure.
And then they just like drag his unconscious body and sort of flop it on the boat, throw the tags on him, and they're like,
yeah,
he passes.
I guess.
Now,
yeah, that would make sense.
If they did do, I could see them doing the thing that you were talking about, where the girl ends up basically giving Leorio her tag because she thought she would never get out of there.
Right.
And if they did that, they would officially be making it so that the one girl that was in the Hunter exam ends up giving away her chance to.
Well, she's already lost.
Yes, that's true. She's already out for the count.
There's not enough time. It's just a question of whether or not Leorio will make it in or not.
Right.
And I don't think he necessarily has to.
No, that would be very interesting to see how they would handle that if he didn't.
If he didn't, it would be cool because then we'd see how they would show the perspective of a main character like that outside of the exam. Mm-hmm. Would they show it at all?
Yeah.
He'd no longer be a main character.
Would we only see him occasionally,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that stuff's kind of cool. There's all kinds of ways they could basically take it to where it's not as straightforward as, oh, he either wins or he loses. It's like, no, he loses, but we get to see his character kind of being in the kind of waiting period for everyone else to go through, or does he get sent back through some kind of special exit where they're like, all right,
sure,
you're done. We banish you. Get out of this area.
You can't split the party.
Well, yeah. Can you split the party is the question. Like,
yeah.
You might be able to. You might not be able to.
I guess we'll find out.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about? We can go back to a little bit of Hisoka, even though that was the previous episode.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel about like his character having gone through that little bit there?
I really like that. I am not sure if they will. I get the feeling they might not reference that for a while. So just sort of let it be the slow burn thing that's in the back of our minds, because we will be wondering about that.
Yeah.
And then, but I could potentially see them bringing that back towards the end of the exam, or at least this phase of the exam, because if Hisoka is low on tickets or numbers, right, targets, he could just go ham near the boat and just kill people as they show up. And it's like, that's until I get my 6 points, I'm just gonna keep killing you guys.
Right. My thought is, the way they're kind of setting up this whole thing with Hisoka and Gon, they need to fight each other at some point.
Right.
And if there's only one more phase, they both need to, of course, make it through. But it seems even more and more so that Gon has like no chance. Like
yeah, but he does have the points he needs right now.
Right, but how could they set this up in a way, maybe in the next few episodes, where we learn more about what makes Gon tick, so that he can get at least a chance to fight someone like Hisoka?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
I can't think of anything. Can you?
Not really. They need to.
Like, what are Gon's abilities? He's fast.
He's fast. He's strong.
He's not really strong, as far as we know.
I mean,
yeah. By definition of being fast, he is strong. So yeah.
And there was that whole thing where he was not only able to hang from his legs on a tree, but he was also able to, using his legs, slide back up to the top.
Okay, so he's generally strong, just like Killua is.
Sure.
But is that it? And then he has his senses?
Yeah, that seems what it's like so far. So just like general, like maybe his powers will still end up being some kind of like physical enhancement type of thing.
So it keeps it simple.
Yeah, not like, spell magic type stuff, like whatever that snake trap was.
Yeah, and that kind of thing leaves it at least open to being all kinds of abilities.
Right.
Because as far as we know, the snakes are real. Like, those aren't fake. Those aren't
the bodies were still there
and
bleeding after Leorio cut them up.
So
yeah,
with what we have right now, They end up building towards a fight.
Yeah.
Could the final phase be some kind of versus?
It could be. So one of the things I was thinking is that the way we have it set up, right? If we did have 8 people get out of this, that's enough for a tournament.
That's a bracket.
It'd be a short
number.
tournament, and maybe that's one of the ways that they do it better by having there only be 8 people in the tournament. It doesn't drag out super long. They can focus on each fight enough, but with only 7 fights total.
That's a good point. If they had there be only 8 people, though, that means that it's almost guaranteed that Kurapika, Leorio, Gon, and Killua would have crossover in who would fight who.
That's true, yeah, because they'd be half of the contestants. And if you think about it, if the final phase was a tournament, unless they did something
wait. No, they don't have to. They could all be in the first 4 individual fights and have 2 of them lose, 1 in each side.
Yes, that's true.
But that makes it super predictable.
Oh, that makes it super predictable.
Very easy to tell how everything's going to go.
Right. And
I don't
also,
think HunterxHunter is a predictable type show.
I don't think so either. And if the last phase is a tournament like we're talking, then who gets eliminated? It would either have to be like just the person who does by voting the worst, or it would be like the first, whoever loses the first set of battles, so just half the people are gone. But then we would definitely lose at least one of the gang because Hisoka's not going to lose in the tournament on his first fight,
Sure, that's a good point.
So
if we have an 8-person tournament like that,
and 4 people are the main characters.
Yeah, and they're all separated so they don't fight each other. Hisoka will beat one of them.
Right.
And the person it makes sense for him to beat that would be the most, worthwhile is Kurapika or heck, even Killua. I would say no. I'd say they're keeping Killua into the rule of cool factor by having him never ever face Hisoka so he doesn't ever lose.
Exactly.
But
yeah. Right.
But by him doing that, Killua either loses his first fight or he's on the opposite side where he has to fight Gon so that Gon will fight Hisoka at the end.
Yeah, that makes me think that if
I don't think they'll do a tournament.
I don't think they will do a tournament, or if they do, it'll be something different enough so that they don't run into that problem.
Yeah. I think that tournaments are fine. And maybe I expected it more when they had, 16 or 24 people?
Right.
Now I don't think they're going to do that.
Yeah, it's just not enough.
But they need to have some way to find an excuse to have Hisoka and Gon fight. Right? They need something like that. Maybe it'll be more of a
team deathmatch where they split them into groups of 4 and just have them fight each other. That way you could have the main characters fighting against, Hanzo, the guy with the bow and arrow, and then Hisoka and Gitarocker. Or
cool.
If they really wanted to screw with everybody, they could have Killua, Gitarocker, Hisoka, and the archer guy go up against Hanzo, Kurapika, Leorio, and Gon. That way they'd just have no chance of winning.
That's horrible.
That'd be too much.
That'd be crazy.
I would like to see it though. But
maybe that's what it will be. They'll just have 4 1v1 matches. There's no there's no brackets or anything like that.
But even then, if they do that, then either Hisoka has to lose or one of the gang has to lose.
Well, I'm fine with one of the gang losing.
Okay.
It's the idea that if they all pass this phase, are they hunters or do they need to pass the next phase to become hunters? Because the way they talked about it when they had the cook-off thing,
yeah,
they're you're gonna lose too many people to end up being hunters and stuff. Are they willing to only let a handful of people end up actually being hunters?
What if
that seems a little bit small?
What if the last phase was actually something much easier, but it was like in the sense that it wasn't some great obstacle, but it was actually something that's so simple that it ends up being hard, like some kind of question or something like that.
Like a riddle.
Exactly, and it's based on how they answer, to just show the ability to think creatively or whatever.
Because everyone's shown their physical capabilities by
exactly.
Getting to this point.
They need to have it be something else.
That would actually be a really cool way to end it. Is that even if they do fight, they have it basically where the whole thing is kind of a trick.
Okay.
And if you understand the trick, then you are thinking like a hunter.
Gotcha.
All the way.
Okay.
Because then the whole fight bit doesn't get to you. And that would be interesting because then even someone like Hisoka could end up not being a hunter because he doesn't, see it outside of the fight. But
okay. Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do. Like,
yeah,
with how they've handled this one so far, I'm confident they'll be able to handle the next phase.
This is
great,
right? Because this is my favorite phase so far.
Oh, absolutely, hands down. I'd say this phase is better than all the other ones combined.
Yeah.
Like,
okay, sure.
Like, I mean, because the other phases, even though they had their little surprises and stuff, seemed very basic. But just the idea of them, needing to hunt each other and stuff. I don't know. It screams possibilities to me.
Right. I think the main thing is that they keep giving more and more time to each phase as they go further into this exam kind of arc. But there are some decent ones that they did prior to this with the whole cliff jumping thing.
Yeah, that was fun.
The eggs and stuff.
Yeah.
I liked that one. I also liked some of the in-between bits of the exam where Killua and Gon were sparring with Netero. Yes. That was really good.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
That was probably one of the better episodes of this whole last few episodes or so. Okay, so no Hisoka. I'm kind of disappointed because he was becoming like close to my favorite character up to this point.
I think they're just saving him for the next episode.
Yeah.
Like they don't want us they don't want us to get too familiar with Hisoka. They want us to appreciate the moments he's on screen.
That's true. And you can get that build up by constantly having him show up and really just change things once he's there.
And then disappear.
And then completely disappear. Yeah. Okay. I think this is fine then. There's not really much more to discuss in this episode other than I wonder how they're going to get out of the cave. Like, do you have any ideas as to how they're going to get out of the cave?
Killua could rescue them. They could... What my guess is that they might use this to finally maybe start explaining a little bit about the power system as they're trying to figure out how to bypass it, right?
Right. There could be some trick to the fact that it's not really snakes that's actually stopping them. Yeah. It's something that makes them afraid, so they end up basically feeling fear, and maybe fear is what stops them.
Right.
Like there's some kind of lesson involved.
Yeah. Sure. That's much better. I was thinking like maybe it's just like a technical thing where they have to like think like, okay, we will carry the snake charmer's body out with us so that we won't like trigger it because he didn't want the trap to trap himself.
Sure, that would be kind of clever. Yeah. I don't really know. There's a whole lot of ways they can do it, but they kind of set it up as like, an impossible task in front of them. How will they solve it?
And then, of course, there's the question of could they solve it just by running really fast and like jumping over the snakes?
Maybe Gon could actually get away with it, but Leorio couldn't. Is the idea?
Sure. If they Jacob, really hard.
Snakes move very fast.
They do,
and it's not just like top speed fast. They also are quick. So it's not a thing of would they get through and live? It's would they get through without getting bit enough to be paralyzed?
Right.
And I don't think they could. At the very least, they cannot get Leorio out now with that.
That's true.
Because he is essentially a dead weight burden. Yeah.
I wonder if using their clothes, they could basically bundle themselves up enough that the snakes aren't actually able to bite them.
That's a possibility, but the striking force of a viper like that part where they basically snap and they snap really fast.
But if they like bundled it on their legs, like thinking the vipers won't be able to get them up here unless they fall, maybe they could like just run through really quick. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see. All right, guys, if you want to watch the next 2 Hunter x Hunter episodes, go check out the link in the description for our Patreon's early access, and also check out our Discord. We'd love to chat with you more about some anime. All right, guys, we'll see you later. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.